It's a move towards justice and healing. The UN General Assembly voted to recognise the transatlantic slave trade as the gravest crime in human history. On Wednesday, Ghana's President John Mahama came here to the UN in person to promote this resolution put forward by his country.
We come together in solemn solidarity to affirm truth and pursue a route to healing and reparative justice. The adoption of this resolution serves as a safeguard against forgetting.
This resolution calls for formal global recognition of this historical crime and opens the door for reparatory justice measures. It also urges the restitution of stolen works of art. Well, the vote in the General Assembly was passed with 123 votes in favour, 3 against and 52 abstentions. Argentina, Israel and the United States were the 3 members that voted against the resolution. France and the UK were amongst those that abstained. Whilst the resolution really got the backing of much of the global south, it did prove controversial for some Western powers, mainly because they are concerned about the mention of reparations. They argue that modern governments should not be held legally liable for historical crimes. Supporters argue, however, that this is about recognition of justice, not blame for current generations, and that it is part of a process towards healing. Toronto youth poet Shahada Jack read her poem Reclaiming Our Pen in the General Assembly, honouring those whose stories were never given the chance to be told.
Having this conversation in a global sphere and in a global space like the United Nations, I think will continue to empower the youth to speak their truth and to learn the truths of our world.
Ghana's president quoted Martin Luther King in his speech in the General Assembly Hall. The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice, he said.
First of all praise to the Father Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakadash. Shabbat Shalom to all the brothers and sisters in recognition to observing this day for worshiping the Most High. Sundown this evening to sundown tomorrow evening, my people. Let's get some rest, worship, and praises in to the Father Yahweh in Yahweh Shai's name, because he's definitely more than worthy of such, and it is a commandment throughout all of our dwellings, okay? Especially in these end times, we should be seeking the Most High more than we ever have in our lives, because we can see his word coming into fruition in epic proportions, okay? By now, there's no reason that anybody shouldn't believe that the Most High is real, okay? Because all of these things that we are witnessing right before our eyes, it has already been written. It's already been prophesied, you know. The enemy is playing games, okay? The generations of generations from the ones that said, come and let us come together and cut them off from being a nation, okay? To this day, still playing games like they care about us getting reparations. A road to healing, as they put it. You know, I don't understand why an African, what was it, from Uganda or wherever it was, or Ghana rather, yeah, it was Ghana, will come and feel like he needs to represent us over here. We're not Africans, number one, okay? We are not Africans. We are Shemitic. We're not Hamitic, okay? So that means, let's say, for example, even if they did play games like they were giving reparations, being that it was an African that promoted this whole entire thing, this whole entire thing, guess who would be the ones that's getting the reparations? It will be the African, not us. Okay? See, this is the game they play. These people do not intend on giving us no reparations for the crimes that's been committed to, on us as a people. From generation to generation. Okay? Yeah, we fell into the curses because we decided to go against the Most High and his warnings and what he gave us in Deuteronomy 28. Instead of the blessings, we chose the curses. And as a result of that, we wound up in the mess that we are in to this day. But the Most High will deliver us. And it is He that's going to be our inheritance. Okay? It's Him. Not reparations from the enemy. Like I said, I don't believe that is going to happen. And if it do, well then I will stand corrected. I will be wrong. But according to the Most High's word here, no, it ain't going to be no reparations. He is our inheritance, and He's better anyway. Here in Ezekiel chapter 44, verse 28, it reads, and it shall be unto them for an inheritance. I am their inheritance, and ye shall give them no possession in Israel. I am their possession. Okay? And that's the best. Why? Because all of the things that was taken from us as a people is going to be restored. Okay? And He's even going to give us the heathen. Okay? He says in His word. Let's get into it. Over in Psalms 83 verse 2. This is where it all started right here with the UN. Okay? The UN has been around for a mighty, mighty long time. Okay? It says here, for lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Okay? These people, do you think your enemy finna give you something where you can come up, you know what I'm saying, on the same level that they are financially and whatever? No. Now, this is verse 1 of Psalms 83, a song of Psalms of Asaph. Keep not thou silent. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. The hidden ones are the Israelites. Okay? They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in the remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Now, this is what's been written. Okay? And these same ones, we just got up there and watched, pretending, like they really want to heal and this and that. Look, these people are cutting checks every day for billions of dollars to fund wars. Okay? And of course, France, America, I can't remember the other one. Anyway, they voted against whether we should get reparations anyway. Okay? America rules everything because it's the seat of Satan. This stuff ain't going to happen for us. Okay? Now let's go over here in Zechariah chapter 2 verse 8. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, after the glory hath He sent me unto the nations which spoiled you. For he that touches you touches the apple of His eye. Okay? We've been touched, so therefore we've been touched in the most worst way that a person can be touched. We've been violated as a nation. You've been enslaved, beaten, robbed, raped, murdered, stole, all kinds. I mean, everything that you can think that's imaginable. The most worst nightmare. The only race of people on this planet is our race that's ever suffered. Okay? Like that. You understand? But where the enemy has got to pay at is because he did these things. Because when he touched us, he touched the apple of the Most High. I mean, the apple of the eye of the Most High, that is. Okay? When he did that, see, he put himself in a bad way. All right? Now, over in Psalms chapter 2, Well, no, this is Zechariah chapter 2, verse 8. But over in Psalms chapter 2, verse 8, ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Now, you see what I'm talking about? This is what we stand to inherit right here. I'd rather have this right here, because see, once the Most High give it, it can never be taken away. There won't become no little underhanded laws and, saying this and saying that. The fine print, that is, that you may have missed, if they were to give you so-called reparations, okay? For example, they might say, if they gave you reparations and you had money, and then when they come around to actually implement the other part, the second part of the MOTB, to where you got to take that to be able to function in society by monetary means, you got to have that. What is the reparations going to mean then? You can't take that up, that other half. The first half dealing with the spirit and the DNA has already been cast. That's already been cast out. A lot of people already got that part. But where the second part comes in is where the actually RFID chip, right? You can't take that right there. But if you got reparations, the only way you can get that money and to use it is to get that second part right there. It's no good to you at that point, okay? That's what I'm talking about by the fine print. See, the devil's crafty. See? Now, in Psalms chapter 2, verse 5, then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. Yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord hath said unto me, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve the Lord with fear and rejoice with trembling. Okay? This is what you want right here. This is your reparations right here. These things are going to happen right here. You see? And it's not going to be well. It's not going to go good with the enemy that took crafty counsel against us and our people. Okay? Here in Revelation chapter 13, verse 10. See, this is what they always miss right here. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. This is the heathen. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right? This is what the heathen is going to inherit. All right? See? But before he do, he got to go through a process. And here's where it starts. In Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 14. See, here's the deal. People, look. Throughout our lives, we always, how can I put it? We lust after going after things to achieve things or whatever those things be. We got it could be car payment, it could be a home, it could be a person. You know what I'm saying? Or like the heathen likes to do, keep somebody down underfoot financially. Okay? This is what they love to do, no matter what. Well, we see that, you know what I'm saying? Try to make it hard for somebody to succeed, be successful. They devote their lives to doing this to people because they can't stand to see anybody with nothing nice. They hate it. So they get in the way, you know what I'm saying? They play games, you know what I'm saying? hide behind the scenes where you never see him. But here's the deal: the Most High and his angels see him. You see? And he knows what to do for him. And in his own time, he's going to do it. You ain't getting away with nothing. And then you're going to realize when this come up on you, all this little dirty stuff that you strive to do to others to keep them down or whatever it is all vanity. And you finna see what you finna inherit. And this goes for these ones playing games with reparations. Okay? Let's read. Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 14. I've seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of the spirit. And vexation of the spirit is just things that just upsets you when you look upon it. And you here in this entire earth, you can look anywhere and see a bunch of abominable behavior and just things people do, things people say, and the way they act. It's all anger and it's vexation of your spirit. Okay? But here it is, here in Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 11. There's no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem, and I gave mine heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all things that are done under heaven. This sore travail have Yahweh given to the sons of man to be exercised therewith. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight. Okay? See, these crooked people, they can't be made straight. We're going to get to what's finna happen to them, though. But to continue, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. I commune with mine own heart, saying, Lo, I am come to great estate, and have gotten more wisdom than all they that have been before me in Jerusalem. Yea, my heart had great experience of wisdom and knowledge, and I gave my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly, which folly is foolishness, okay? Silliness, stupidity. I perceive that this also is vexation of spirit, all right? It means nothing when it's all said and done, but what these people do and how they act, okay? Because this is what they're really going to inherit when it's all said and done. Right here in Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 11. For when a man is dead, he shall inherit creeping things, beasts, and worms. You see what I'm talking about? See, all this little conniving and, you understand, and hating and faking, lying. You know, the envy is off of the chain, okay? And you do all you can do with your little fake little power. When it's all said and done, but this is what you finna inherit right here. See, this is the reason why Ecclesiastes chapter 1:14 says it's all vanity and vexation of the spirit. Vanity, nothing. It means nothing. Okay? Now, Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. We know who these people that came and translated our kingdom from our hands to their hands. Cheating, deceit, injuries, unrighteous dealings. You see what I'm saying? They don't honor any agreements, nothing but a bunch of liars. You see what I'm saying? And all of the little institutions that they have. Take YouTube, for example. Partnership programs. You know what I mean? Well, they're never going to let you get to that because they don't want you to have that. So they lie, and they do not honor what they say they're going to do. And they're going down, by the way. But be that as it is, for example, verse 9, why is earth and ashes proud? Earth and ashes. Question. There is not a more wicked thing than a covetous man. For such an one setteth his own soul to sale, because while he liveth, he casteth away his bowels. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. For when a man is dead, he shall inherit creeping things, beasts, and worms. The beginning of pride is when one departed from Yahweh, and his heart is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities, and overthrew them utterly. The Lord hath cast down the throne, or the thrones of proud princes, and set up the meek in their stead. Do you see the reparations that the meek is going to inherit it? This is what I'm talking about. It don't make no difference with the little games these people play. These people are fools. They stupid. You see what I'm saying? They think they really doing something. You are. You're screwing yourself. Because this has already been written, and this is what's going to come to pass. Okay? Oh, you still need some more convincing? Let's go over in Isaiah chapter 66, verse 24. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh. Now, this is when in the kingdom, when the people, the meek that inherits the earth, okay, gets to look down on these evildoers that did all these little trap settings and being, fake, being lying and all little kind of stuff, and, stabbing you in the back and all that. You understand what I'm saying? To keep you down. Well, the meek is one that's going to be looking down, and it's going to be on them. You see what I'm saying? This is what they are going to inherit right here. Okay? Isaiah chapter 66, verse 21. And I will also take of them for priests and for Levites, saith the Lord. For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, saith the Lord, so shall your seed and your name remain. And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched. And they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh, a shame, filth, destroyed. You see what I mean? See, this is what it all comes down to. The Most High ain't no joke. You ain't getting away with nothing. Play your games at your own risk. Play at your own risk. Go ahead. Do what you do. But when it's all said and done, all the wrong that you have done gonna come back and fall on you, because like the Most High word also say, you reap what you sow. You ain't getting away with nothing. So it don't make no difference if they give little reparations or not. It really don't matter. It don't. Because see, surely if you make the kingdom, the Most High, Yahweh Shai, or have it Father by Hashem Yahweh Shai, Father Yahweh, that's your inheritance right there. And it's in his word. When you inherited him, you inherited everything, including the heathen, including the ones playing these games and telling lies. You see, this is what it all comes back to. So ain't no need in being worried or dismayed and frustrated. When it's all said and done, if you are chosen, if you are saved, the ball is in your park and the park belongs to you. And that's just all it boils down to. All praise to the Father, Yahweh, Yahweh name. I hope I said something to stimulate your spiritual growth. And I hope you guys find this lesson edifying. People, please remember to live your life as though we're being watched. Simply because we are. This is James, and I'm out. Peace.